Two.
Welcome to another episode of Yall Bros Anime Pod. Let my fellow hosts introduce themselves for the folks that don't know us and are joining us for the first time.
What's up, everybody? It's Klepto_GG, Twitch and Twitter. Good to see y'all again.
Klepto.
Man, that sounded rushed, but all right, man. You know, it's your boy Love It, man.
Love it, man.
What up,
Come on, man.
That boy, boss the boss. You already know what it is.
Love the boss. And I'm the other host, Tiggity T. Let's get into it. This is going to be our What If episode. We're going to be exploring some new What Ifs. Please let us know down below if you like these. If you want to explore the old ones we've already discussed, let us know. Hopefully some good stuff gets flipped. We'll be getting some pretty good reactions on TikTok. People wanting to debate, things of that nature. We love getting into it. So far, really haven't come across anybody really disproving the bullshit anime degree havers or retainers on the panel. So we look forward to it. Please come out, debate us. We love it. That being said, number one, what if anime villains won? Which anime would be most interesting to discuss with this idea in mind?
If anime villains won, honestly, I think Dragon Ball Z would be one of my top ones to want to discuss with that in mind, because I feel like we would see something that's similar, like a future go on, a future change type of timeline, but I think that was destroyed. I think about Naruto like that sometimes, but not necessarily like what if Madara really won, because we've seen content like that on the internet, and as interesting as it is, I think more like, what if Orochimaru won when he attacked the leaf? What if he just killed Hiruzen and didn't lose his jutsu? Would he just call Sasuke Mari? Like, what? You know what I'm saying?
What do you think would happen to Naruto? Do you think Jiraiya would kidnap Naruto at that point?
I think Jiraiya would have had the village. Probably been like, ooh, we gotta get my boy out.
Yeah, we would have to get Naruto. I think if Orochimaru wins, if he kills Hiruzen without losing his jutsu, I don't think he goes after Sasuke. I think he re-ups on his jutsu and goes after Itachi.
But he already... I don't know. I think at that point, he would probably avoid Itachi, because Itachi had already messed him up.
Yeah. Before he got a hold of all the secret ninjutsu he couldn't get his hands on before, because he just won. So,
Fair point.
I see what you're saying.
So
I don't know if that's
if he kills Hiruzen, at that point in time it is. Itachi doesn't have full control over Amaterasu yet.
I think there's as much as we don't discuss it enough on the pod, and we probably give more credit to other animes. I think there's an argument to be made here for what if Aizen won?
I was actually about to say that.
Yeah,
I actually wasn't gonna go Naruto. I was gonna go Bleach. I was gonna say, what if Aizen won? I think out of all the big three, of all the anime that I could think of off the top of my head, the one that's most terrifying is Aizen. If Aizen wins, like Ichigo can't beat Aizen, the entire Bleach verse is royally screwed. Like, now there's nobody, because you have Aizen, who was already broken with his Zanpakuto. We didn't even see what his Bankai was. And then, on top of both of those, he got a spear in his chest, pumping non-stop spiritual energy into him. Like, yeah, it was gonna be bad news for everybody.
How do you think that affects Thousand Year Blood War? Like, does your watch still a factor, or is he just nonsensical at that point?
I wouldn't call him nonsensical just because he has the ability to not only go back in time, but he can pick a timeline to jump in, like to basically resurrect himself into. His power's stupid. It's dumb. So he basically, I wouldn't say he's nonsensical, but I would say he would have to wait.
Yeah, I was just about to say that he definitely would have sat it. He would have sat it out, knowing that he was that Aizen was out there wilding out the way he doing.
Yeah,
But my
he
thing
would have had
is,
to wait.
My thing is, Shice. What is Buddy's name? The one that creates names. I cannot remember his name.
Oh, yeah, Squad Zero would have pulled up.
Squad Zero would definitely pull it up, and like I think that would have been a contender for Aizen, but I'm not sure how far he would make it.
They would have erased his name.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Erased his name.
But ain't that sphere like alter reality though?
What about Yu Yu Hakusho? What if Taguro won?
Oh, you know
What if Taguro was never going to overcome Yusuke? That was never going to happen. Let's that.
In the realm of the show, nobody thought Yusuke would lose. Nobody thought Yusuke would win, other than Yusuke and the people he showed up with. So that's what I mean.
Genkai knew he could win.
Genkai's on Yusuke's side. I count Genkai as part of Yusuke and his people.
But Genkai, hold on. I just want to make this one distinction. Genkai was one of Yusuke's biggest critics, and the one who made him put a handicap on himself so he wouldn't just obliterate Taguro.
Right.
Just want to make that clear distinction.
Okay.
And then proceeds to. Anyways, all right, we're gonna move on because I'll sit here and defend Yu Yu Hakusho with passion, and we don't need to do that. What about All For One?
Oh, yeah, All For One wins. I think it resets the Japanese society.
But when
Wait. Not just one for all. What if he gets New Order? Like totally wins. Total domination. This is what if anime villains won? So this is winning every time.
But that's what I was about to ask. Like, when are we saying that All For One would have won?
Basically throughout the whole series.
Never lost. So he All Might pulls up, they get to go at it. All Might's dead, or he's injured to the point to where he got to pass it along.
Basically, y'all just rewrote Power Rangers as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just basically rewrote Power Rangers as far as I'm concerned. Like every little harebrained scheme that Rita Repulsa would have had, like it's pretty much is what's going on. But yeah, it would be
still gives it a shot. But I mean, once All For One gets New Order, it's basically what Aoyama said. You control the oil, you control the food, you control the water. Now the society doesn't have that. They're going to bend to your win.
I mean, yes, for a time, but I do think at some point you're going to have a quirk singularity like One For All occur out of something that All For One does. They counteract it. I feel like
and that's fine, but the caveat to that is because he always wins. The thing is that means he gets the upgraded body, he gets upgraded All For One, so now he can basically snatch as many powers as he wants, and his body's just going to keep becoming fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had another one though. What if Father won?
Holy crap.
Nope.
That's a canon no.
What if Father won? What if he did not lose the tug of war with God?
Yeah, nah. I don't even want to think about that.
Like, he had immediately access to the other side of the door?
As it is in Brotherhood, or as it is in the original?
In Brotherhood.
Okay.
I don't like taking from the original because it's not a finished body of work.
Heard.
So meaning it's not from the manga, so.
Yeah, so sticking with Brotherhood, I would say, nah. I know we're gonna have to cut this part because we can't have this in the video, but fuck that. Fuck every bit of that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. That's pretty bad in his bears right there.
You said what if he won? But he did win.
He did win.
He killed Gojo. Like, if he would just went on a murdering spree, killed everyone else, and completed the murder.
He allowed Yuji to talk no jutsu to him, bro. He won where he counted.
Yeah.
What about Demon Slayer Big Bad?
Oh, no.
Now, okay.
Michael Jackson himself.
There's two ways we can count Muzan winning. First way is he kills all the Hashira and Tanjiro and everybody in the demon castle. That's win con number one. Number two, even though he dies, he successfully turns Tanjiro into a demon.
See, for me, the way I figure it is, what if he got access to Nezuko before he was stopped?
That's what I was about to ask.
I would agree with that. However, he had always intended to kill Nezuko.
To absorb her ability.
Yeah, he had always intended to kill Nezuko. So it could have allowed him. It allows him to walk out during the day, and it speeds up his ability to turn demons. But I don't think it's enough to say it gives him a clear win. Him turning Tanjiro into a demon, however, is like turning what's Upper Moon 1's name? It's like a second coming of Upper Moon 1 as a demon.
You don't think so? But the fact that he'll be able to run around and create daywalking
His only
demons.
weakness is not in the match. Him as a daywalker. It doesn't matter. Him as a daywalker is already beyond that. The only thing that can kill Muzan is sunlight. So, Nichiren is not getting the job done. That's why they all have to survive until dawn.
That's true.
Fair.
So if I get Nezuko, it's game over. I won. You can't beat me because now there's no way to kill me. I'm gonna essentially destroy all of humanity because I, as Muzan, I can eat demons. So I'm just gonna turn you all into damn demons. And I give a shit, or I'll make human farms. That's crazy. The same way you get like the generations after and it's all happy, imagine just Muzan and you just see him farming humans like
Spin-off.
There's an anime like that.
Spin-off. Demon Slayers.
That makes sense. They rediscover the demon slaying arts.
That would have to be the only route, because
that
Muzan
would
would
be such a
become
badass anime.
a ridiculous tyrant if he could walk during the day. It'd be bad news for everybody.
Yeah,
Facts.
because you have to evolve a blood art to be able to overcome it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on to number 2. What if the anime multiverse existed? What if characters from different animes could cross over into each other's reality?
Okay, all I'm saying. Gear 5 Luffy. Kurama cloak. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm thinking about. The full Kurama cloak. Like the one he gave to the Konoha 12. So we talking about Gear 5 Luffy with the Kurama cloak, talking about Rasen Shuriken on your back. That's what's gonna happen. And Naruto in the back doing this.
No, you said Gear 5 Luffy and Kurama Cloak. That's not Rasengan.
Motherfucker.
Gear 5 Luffy is just big hand, big giant hand minting a tail beast bomb, and just like cartoon windmilling that bitch and just tossing it at you.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Sanji with 8 gates.
Oh hell no!
No!
And he can't die. He can't die.
Damn, hang up.
He can't die.
Sanji with 8 gates. Zoro with the Sharingan or Byakugan. Either one.
I have one.
Nah, both would be busted.
Shinwoo going to the Dragon Ball universe.
Jinwoo don't need nothing.
But look at all those Shadow Soldiers he's in that one.
I got one.
Need nothing.
I got one. Great sage Raphael will analyze Jinwoo and be like, Rimuru, you want to do this?
Hell no!
Hold on. I think you're mad disrespecting Jinwoo right now.
I think you're mad underestimating Raphael.
Yeah, Raphael is essentially like
The system
in the Tempest universe. It's not just system.
No,
it's
not a
like
system. It's almost the
it's
world itself.
like living magic.
Are you caught up on the manga?
Dog.
Dog. So Raphael is literally almost like the world itself. The world that Rimuru lives in, it's almost like the brain of, it's like the brain of God, essentially. It's like God took his brain, separated it, and was like, whoever so happens to encompass this,
What all can it do?
this information has access to like that's why Raphael can literally break down spells, different types of magic. That's why Predator exists. Like it's like Raphael busted.
It's really busted. It's essentially what it is it's living information of the whole universe, and it just breaks down that information. So whenever Rimuru comes across something he doesn't know or doesn't understand, it analyzes it. The problem is there's
always
spaces. No, there's one moment where it doesn't do it because it has to evolve, and that causes Rimuru to evolve. And because that causes it to evolve, Raphael becomes CL and becomes fully sentient and like separate from Rimuru, but still a part of him. Is really
That's why I was telling
really
you, like
ridiculous.
Jinwoo is up here. Jinwoo is up here. But Rimuru is still climbing. That's why I was telling you that the other day.
Heard, no doubt, and I trust it. But I guess
I don't think Rimuru and Jinwoo ever meeting would be like a conflict between them. They'd both be like, damn, you strong, you're a god. Hey, how you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could you see Rimuru? Okay, Rimuru's already busted, as you stated. Could you imagine him having Shadow Monarch?
That'd be stupid.
What if they just traded information? That's what I'm thinking about. You imagine
Could you imagine giving Jinwoo all of Rimuru's abilities?
Yeah. So then he'll be like, oh yeah, Gluttony, Predator. He's gonna rip souls out of things and then put them back.
Gluttony or Predator.
Because every ability he takes. Because if he goes back to the Hunter universe with that shit and then starts taking out fucking Hunter abilities, like just cool, you're no longer a Hunter. I got that shit now.
Bro, he's gonna clear out dungeons.
Like,
He's just gonna just stand there that says Gluttony,
If
and that's
Jinwoo
it.
had Gluttony or Predator, it'd be bad. That'd be awful.
That's what I'm saying. He's just
Oh,
gonna
God.
stand in the middle of a dungeon and just say Gluttony, and that's the
It'd
end of
be
the dungeon, bro.
It'd be
That's
awful.
busted.
Like, I would not ever want to cross paths with that Dragon Monarch. Who, like, go sit down. Go sit in a corner. Don't look at me. Face the corner. Like, get out of here.
I still say, I think the most busted version of a Jinwoo hybrid with anybody, in my opinion, even though Rimuru's as busted as y'all say, I still think Frieza with Jinwoo is fucking crazy.
I think
Like, when he had the abilities.
I think
Who's mentally in control though?
I think in this multiverse, all the Son Wukong and his iterations meet up. So we're talking about Son Goku, Monkey D. Luffy, Son Wukong, Jin Mori. Keep going.
All of them?
All of them. And the original gonna be like, y'all really just out my fur. The bro. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. That would be crazy.
Y'all ready for number 3? What if Netero won against Miriam in the Chimera Ant arc of Hunter x Hunter without dying? How does the series proceed forward?
It's a full-on Chimera and genocide. They not gonna stop.
If Netero lives,
No, Netero wins. Netero beats
Yeah.
Miriam.
Yeah,
live,
they're not gonna stop. They are racing them.
Because there's none stronger than
Chimera
Miriam.
Ants.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Chimera ants are getting hunted like Uchiha.
there's
Yeah.
none stronger than Neteru. So Netero's alive after the fight. It's bad news,
Yeah.
bears, bro.
Big
If
time.
Netero tries to help
Grandpa's old age is
Oga's
gonna be like,
men back.
oh, we running the gauntlet. Yeah, we running.
I think-
Oh God.
I don't think Gong loses his men because Netero kills Mirawoon, and Pichu's gonna feel that, and he's immediately gonna be like, "Bro, I gotta go. Something's wrong."
That fight was happening at the same time, or did it happen?
Yeah,
Okay. But when did Gon make the pact though?
before he made the pact after Kite died. So there was a time space where Kite dies, they escape. I forgot the name of the area where the Chimera ants are, but they escape the area.
NGE or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think so. And then when they go back, they're training. They meet all the other hunters, the guy with the pompadour, guy with the gray hair. They meet those guys, find out that they're putting together a team to go back in and deal with the Chimera ants. So they start training, and then during their training, Gon makes the pact. Because when he comes back and the guy is like, hey, I know we said you could come, but like, to be real, you really can't come until I see how strong you are. And Gon hit that. He said, first comes rock. And that boy said, nah, what is that?
No, I'm talking about the pact for him to use all his men to go into his adult form.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He made the pact before that. Like, that's where all that power came from when he was loading that rock, paper, scissors. That was pact power. That was the start. That was the beginning. That was like, he made that pact. He got juice. He ready.
So yeah, so the question still stands: does Netero try to help him get his Nen back? And is it possible?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely is possible.
So how would he get his Nen back then?
Probably in a similar way. I think Killua would still go talk to his little brother / little sister and make that wish, bring Gon back to normal, and then he would have to retrain Nen all over again.
Which Gon's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
What if he comes back as a different type?
I think he came back as the same type, isn't he? When he goes to the Dark Continent, he's still the same.
Yeah.
After he gets Nen back as a specialist, because he lost it. Yeah.
Okay. Hear me out.
Gon came back as a specialist. That's crazy.
Let me cook real quick.
Dangerous
What
water.
if Gon, after having lost his Nen, they revive the series, Gon gets his Nen back as a specialist, and then begins building his power to then go and take on Jing, saying like, cool, like since you said I'm the worst thing that ever happened to you, gang type shit, we're gonna fucking, I'm gonna go train, I'm gonna do what I have to do, but then I'm pulling up, and it's gonna go down.
Here's why I
It
still
would make for a very intense story.
Oh yeah, it'd be intense, but Gon's pretty disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jing gonna hit him with I'm about to show you why I'm daddy. Okay.
And then Jing be over here copying powers, and that's not even an inability. He just can do that.
Oh, that's crazy.
He said,
Oh, this is an ability. He's never used it.
I ain't gonna lie. I've read everything we have on I've read and reread everything we have on Dark Continent. There is no mention of what his actual Nen ability is.
Ain't showed yet. But we do know that he can do Leorio Punch.
Yeah, we got crazy physical feats. We got he can do Leorio Punch, and we got you talk about the most smartest man with the most useless knowledge. For whatever reason, Jing is literally the epitome of knows a lot of shit about a bunch of nothing. Why? Couldn't tell you. He just do. He just traveled. He's just a well-traveled man. He's just a well-traveled man, bro. He knows so much and so little at the same time. It's crazy.
No. So there's no even remote chance of Gon being able to train himself back up, even as a specialist.
I think he'll train himself back up as a specialist, and the first physical attack he hits his dad with, he'll be like, cool, watch me do it.
And it's gonna be all downhill from there, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
It's gonna be Hisoka in the tower all over again.
Yes.
Damn, that's wild. Do you think at that point that Gon would be able to take on Hisoka?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah. Hisoka coming. Hisoka coming for all the cheeks.
Mm-hmm. He gonna come for the smoke, but Gon gonna be ready. If he came back as a specialist, he'd be beyond ready.
Heard. So you think, so just to be clear before moving on to our next point, a Chimera Ant pack-made Gon could beat, if not wash, Hisoka?
No. He has to be a specialist.
Yeah.
So he could not beat Hisoka as he is in the Chimera Ant arc.
No.
Not even when he goes full on adult.
No.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Is gonna put.
Hisoka, I keep like, don't get me wrong. I know we don't like Hisoka. I really don't. I can't stand him. He bothers me to my core. But he's absolutely a monster. True in every sense of the word. Like not a fight you take willingly.
I just
like
want
if you cross paths with him.
show it.
Oh god. If they get Baki in, Hisoka might be in for some hands. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey, Baki, man.
I ain't gonna
Doesn't even need then.
Nah, he need in.
Nah. What if they give my boy Chakra?
Okay, we're gonna stop while we're behind, literally.
You're right.
Number 4.
Chakra? Alright, my bad. My bad.
No. We're gonna stop while we're behind because that man's gonna be an official booty warrior. He's gonna travel interdimensionally using time space jutsu. We're not even. Yeah. Number 4. What if Luffy dies at the end of One Piece? Does that change your view on the series as a whole?
No. I think he's going to
go
be old Roger.
Yeah. I was about to say.
And a whole new era comes.
I don't think Luffy dying at the end of One Piece is a bad thing. I do not think it's a bad thing. I don't. I don't hope he dies. But if Luffy dies, I actually think that would be a proper ending to One Piece. Personally. Just because
I don't think you're wrong.
Everything that happened at Marineford with Ivankov and the adrenaline shots and that whole ordeal, everything he's been through afterwards, Gear 5 literally, not sucking the life out of him, but it literally pushes its life force to its uppermost limit, which is why every time he comes out of it, he looks like a deflated old man. Like, I find it not hard to believe that he'll live just because it's a shonen anime. Of course, there's a way he can live. But it's just, if Luffy at the end of it all the fights, he wins the last big one and then dies, I'd be like, yeah. He just gave us the grandest adventure for well over 10 years of my life.
I feel like it may end with him dying, but not just as a battle. I think he may pass like old age, and again, like Usopp is the one telling that story to the next generation.
That could be it for sure. It would be cool to see Luffy live to be old.
Yeah.
If Luffy dies, whether it's in the battle or whether old age, that's fine. As long as I don't get Game of Thrones, as long as I don't get My Hero Academia, and as long as I don't get Walking Deaded, we'll be fine. Any of those things try to even happen, we're gonna have a bad time. Because if you give him some death being beaten in the head by a baseball bat, not gonna happen. Scrap it. If you have my man's out here like where it actually seems like he's gonna win, he's gonna do everything, and then he just gets mercilessly killed, like if he gets done like his, I know it's gonna get clipped, my bad, but if he gets donutted, you know what I'm saying? Like brother, then I'm gonna be real mad about that. I'm gonna be like, I don't want any poetic irony. I feel like it's trash. And also, I don't want to see any My Hero Academia type stuff. I don't want to see him lose the Hito no Mi Model Sun God Nika. If somebody else takes these devil fruit powers, that's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna be like, got it. So this was a waste of my fucking time.
Fortunately, there's only one person in the verse who could do that, and I mean, let's be real. Blackbeard is getting waxed, okay?
He gonna watch.
Blackbeard.
I personally think he gonna do all of that. He gonna have all them devil fruits, and Sanji and Zoro looking at him.
Oh God. I hate so much that Blackbeard is the main villain, to be honest. You know how I feel about Blackbeard. He ain't got no hands, bro. I'm sorry. Your main villain in an anime that's about scrapping can't scrap? Nah.
Well, ultimately, it comes down to this: like, who is he beating? He's beating Law. He ganged up on Whitebeard, but he's not Gorosei level. He's not really a Yonko level dude. Like, he hasn't taken out a Yonko level opponent.
He ain't got no hands.
But I'm saying, put it to you like this though: put him in the situations Luffy's been in. Is he winning those fights? And it's not even about scrapping. It's not even about. It's more about like there isn't the crew cohesion necessary to guarantee that stuff to happen. Like,
I feel you.
Through the Luffy shenanigans and through the rest of the Straw Hat crew, like they all collectively make it happen.
Right. Facts. But Blackbeard can't scrap. He sucked. So he not running the gauntlet Luffy ran. Cause Luffy a dog. Luffy
I would love to see Blackbeard go up against the Holy Knight just to watch Blackbeard get washed.
Blackbeard still not trying to run the fame with Garp.
Bro.
That's why he's all chained
right
up.
now, too.
All chained up. Hey, hear me out. What if Kizaru? No, not Kizaru. I'm sorry. What if what is his freaking name? Ice Admiral.
Yeah, Aokiji.
Aokiji. So what if Aokiji is in fact a sword member and intentionally let Garp live so that they can tell me that doesn't make sense.
It makes sense, but I don't think Sword is the organization he's a part of.
So who do you think he's a part of?
I think he's a revolutionary.
Oh. That would be crazy.
Because after losing to Akainu, I don't see how there's any way he wants to be a part of Sakazuki's navy. Like, he wants no part of Akainu's navy.
But that's the thing. As a member of Sword, he's not. Because he already put in his resignation.
Sword is still under a sub-branch of the navy.
But he technically already left.
They still report to somebody in the navy. So,
what if his direct reporting person is Garp?
Right. Well, I feel you on that. However, it makes more sense to me for him to completely cut ties with the Navy, use Blackbeard as a front, but he's actually a revolutionary. Because at all points in the show, the Revolutionary Army is always up to date on what's happening, not only in what they're doing, but also in the pirate world. What's happening with the emperors, who's the current emperor, who's fighting where, who's doing what's happening.
They have a lot of spies.
True. And I believe Aokiji is one of them.
How could he have been ever linked up? When would he have been?
After he got his ass whooped. I'm betting.
But there's no evidence for that. That's subjective.
Dude, there's everything about this.
There's more evidence of him being a possible sword member. Go ahead.
We know that Dragon was previously in the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
He was trained by Garp, just like Luffy, just like Ace. He went out for the Marines. Something happened. He's not Marines no more. I think
it was the God Valley event.
I think it was something that happened with Luffy's mom.
I think Aokiji.
I think Garp came back and told him about God Valley.
Got wrapped up in that. And yeah, that too. It is a lot.
These are all possible theories.
And I think that's when Aokiji was like, nah, respect Garp, but I'm going to go with Dragon.
I don't know. Then why? So how does that work if he still maintains his admiral status? Why wouldn't Garp out him?
Garp don't know. Garp don't know. This is probably one of the best well-kept secrets.
So at what point?
Could be.
So the only problem I have with that is the event of God Valley predates Aokiji's training with Garp. So if that's the case, the event of God Valley is pretty close to the time when Dragon left the Navy.
Mm.
So there wouldn't have been a time for Aokiji to have met Dragon.
Not at that point in time. So that's what I'm saying. After him and Akainu dueled,
because of that event. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think what Carl's, or I think what Buck was saying
at Punk Hazard, when the fight was over, either the Revolutionary Army happened to stumble because they look at changes in the new world like everybody else. What lands are no longer there, what cities are no longer there, you know, what new civilizations are rising if there's new civilizations. The rise of a half lava, half ice, like island,
that was racing.
They definitely have knowledge of that. So they either could have found him, they could have helped him get back on his feet, or it could have been after he got back on his feet, they ran into him. I don't know. I have no proof of the meeting. All I'm saying is, I don't believe he's committed to being. Nobody believes he's a Blackbeard pirate. First and foremost.
100%. Let me say this: if the Revolutionary Army was aware of the island Punk Hazard and didn't do anything to save those kids, I just want to stand on business right here, today's date, and tell you the Revolutionary Army is a piece of shit.
Maybe not
the resources.
Maybe not Theater in his operation, but just aware of the fight between Akainu and Aokiji and then the fallout.
Yeah.
So, Aokiji and Akainu having their fight there, and you don't think Aokiji tells Dragon what's going on there? That's what I mean. For me, having any awareness of that island and not solving that issue before Luffy gets there, put their entire existence in. Why are you even in an organization? Because those kids were clearly suffering, and you could have done something like you've done with these other governments, and you did nothing.
I see what you did. I don't know. In the same breath that you could say that, I could also say, how would they know?
Because Aokiji was an admiral, so he was aware of the activities going on that island.
But the Caesar's operation wasn't on that island until after it became.
The government still had cameras on the facility.
But what I'm telling you is, Caesar in his operation doesn't move in until way later after the fight, is what I'm telling you. So there's no way for the Revolutionary Army to just poof, idea in their head, oh, there's kids trapped on there. They don't know. It's not even an up and running operation yet.
Okay, but wouldn't it have at least been worth it for the Revolutionary Army to say, cool, let's go in there and take some shit?
I mean, we don't even know if the laboratory was there before they fought or while they were fighting. That's what I'm telling you. See, any of
the laboratory had to have been there because that's where Vegapunk had worked prior to going to Egghead.
Okay, valid. That's true. So the laboratory's there, the government's aware it's there, the Revolutionary Army logically may be aware it's there. Okay, but they've not been given any reason to suspect those types of crimes. Is what I'm saying. Not at that point in time.
Anyway, I'm just proposing a theory.
But it's just like, yeah.
It's all good. All right. Number 5. What if Naruto was raised by Orochimaru after his parents' death?
Death to the universe.
Yeah, the village burns.
To the Naruto universe.
Actually, this is after the Nine Tails is sealed in the Naruto.
The village burns, episode 1.
Or before. Or instead of Sasuke, Orochimaru was like, I'll just become a Jinchuriki, bro. I don't care.
Can I ask a question?
I don't think he would, though, because he's ex-Akashi.
Well, let me ask this. If Orochimaru, takes over...
I think Orochimaru would train him up as bait, and then be like, hey, he still got Akashi contacts. I got the Nine Tails right here. And he just starts taking out the people from the Akashi that he don't mess with.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to fuck up.
He could use Naruto to get Itachi.
Ooh.
Let me ask this. When Orochimaru transfers bodies, can he transfer things with him?
What do you mean transfer things with her?
So what I mean is, let's say, for example, that Orochimaru transferred himself into Naruto's body, right?
Mm-hmm.
After he comes up to a certain age that Orochimaru deems fit.
Mm-hmm.
If Orochimaru, after getting into Naruto's body, somehow made his way into the ninja school thinking to infiltrate the village, right? And become Hokage that way.
Mm-hmm.
He meets Sasuke, realizes he's the last Uchiha, and he's not going to be able to get his hands on Itachi. What if at this point, could he make the decision to jump from Naruto's body into Itachi's body with Kurama?
Oh, that's an interesting.
I don't think it works that way.
That's why
Kurama has his own soul. He's an entirely separate entity. So he would have to reseal Kurama into his new body.
Okay, so the reason that I ask that is because could you imagine a Sasuke with the mind of Orochimaru, but Kurama inside of him?
I just want to say there's no version. We don't want a version where Orochimaru comes out on top. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like I am a firm believer.
That would be a big ass fight.
I ain't gonna lie, no disrespect to Madara. He could shut down any one jutsu that he chooses, but at that point, Orochimaru with the Sharingan and Kurama, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. You need. So what's buddy name? What's Otsutsuki buddy name with the fishing pole? What's his name?
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know his name. You need him. You need Jigen, and then you need Kaguya dimension changing. That's your best bet. That's your best help.
Basically, just that he's going to become a perfect Jinchuriki that has like a fully mastered Susanoo and like EMS. Like,
I was about to say, is Sharingan capable of becoming EMS? Like,
yeah, why?
And Orochimaru has Sage Chakra. He's gonna get a Rinnegan. No, stop.
Put it away.
Stop.
No,
Cut it.
Put it away.
Cut it. We're done. We're done.
He's gonna complete Sage Chakra. He just gonna.
Yeah, we're done.
That man gonna have Sasuke out there dressed like Michael Jackson at every episode.
Never mind him having
Orochimaru.
Never mind him having full control of the Nine Tails and having the Nine Tails to make nature energy for him. Like, yeah, because that's what Naruto does.
And on top of all that, he has Snake Sage.
A Jinchuriki Sage?
Yeah.
With Rinnegan?
Yeah, that's too much. Too much. Go ahead and pack it up.
No. Let's say.
No, put that away.
Please put it away.
Alright. Number 6. What if Asta had magic and Yuno was the one with anti-magic?
Oh,
How would you know anti-magic work? Would it be double? Would it still be double related?
Yeah.
So and go ahead, sorry.
I feel like Yuno's anti-magic would be ass. And then Asta would be framed up still with Yuno's wind and star magic.
Are we switching weapons too? Is
No.
Asta getting the wand and getting the sword?
Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
So when I originally posed this question, the way I had envisioned it was basically everything switches except for their personalities. So they're still in the same bodies. They still have their same base personality traits. The only difference is instead of Asta not getting a grimoire, Yuno doesn't get a grimoire until the events of the first episode.
So Asta gets a 4-leaf clover grimoire, and he's still Asta. I mean, you just fast-tracked him to Wizard King.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just fast-tracked him to Wizard King. I mean, I don't like his work ethic. His work ethic, his natural instincts as a combatant, and then.
But how do you think Yuno
like this? I mean,
Know that she can. So he finds a way to excel at anti-magic, and now like they're still rivals. but I do think that Yuno's gonna be like.
He's gonna be better.
And that Devil's going to be friends like off damn near Jump Street the moment he figures out that he's in there.
Really, you think?
Yes.
Just like he did with Bell.
Because that's what I was about to say. You got to think about it. All you're doing, you're saying it's pretty much the same thing, except it's just slightly reversed. So him and that Devil's going to like link instantly and be like, fuck Asta and fuck the world. And
I don't know, man. That's Asta with magic, and he's still the same Asta is.
That's pretty busted, especially with Yuno's like God
wind and star magic.
What? Are we saying he's gonna have wind magic? Because we really don't know what magic he
everything.
Everything has wind magic.
I know you don't have wind magic.
Yeah, so if we're switching it,
okay, so we're just switching him. Okay, like that. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, then that means Asta also has star magic.
Asta has the wind scar.
Wind magic and star magic, and then I really want to spoil some shit that's in the manga, but I'm really trying not to.
People who haven't watched it. Listen, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Hold on, Klepto. Asta has the wind scar.
Yeah,
the wind scar. Inuyasha. Remember Inuyasha? He's gonna have the wind scar.
He's gonna hit the hands with a backlash.
So, spoiler alerts, viewers. Spoiler alerts, beware. If you do not want to see the spoiler alert, fast forward to approximately 45 seconds past this.
I'm not dropping spoilers.
Klepto, come on, just tell us. We want to have this active discussion.
I'm just saying, with anti-magic, imagining the events flip-flop that I've seen in the manga would be insane. Because, I can't wait for that anime.
Just imagine the elf arc.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
But do you still think that the current Wizard King ends up losing to Head Elf if their roles are reversed?
First of all, let me say this. If the citizens of the Clover Kingdom were a non-factor, Julius Nova Chrono is whooping the Elf King ass. Boy, what? I'm talking. What was his name? What was his name? What was the elf boy's name? No, his real name. It was Patry. It was Patry. Patry getting his ass whooped. Patry is getting his ass whooped. Boy, did you see the fight? That boy Julius said, "Hey, that light cool, but watch this."
That time was something else.
When his grimoire was like that.
Hey, when he said, I said, nah.
I'm wrong with him.
He built different.
Honestly, guy, I don't know, because I haven't read ahead in the manga, but to me, I'll be honest with you, there's something off about Julius. He seems evil as shit.
Trust that instinct, my boy. Trust that instinct.
Yeah, go ahead and keep following that line of logic.
Trust that instinct.
You know why? Because the first time I met him and saw him meet Asta, I immediately thought of Palpatine.
Nah, what threw me off, what got me was when he went to save Asta, and he pulled up and immediately popped the two time balls and like deleted them. I was like, nah, there's something off about, bro. Ain't no king act like that. He showed up and was like, oh, what's up? You're dead. And then was like, okay, if you talk, you don't die. I was like, who king is this? Who king is this? Who king is this? What? He put them all in time capsules and was like, you talk, you live. Okay, wow, that's how we doing? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But nah, trust that instinct, brother. Trust that instinct.
Yeah, trust that instinct, but go.
Now this next one's gonna get real crazy. Number 7. What if Gojo was the true villain throughout the duration of Jujutsu Kaisen?
And he was secretly trying to flop the whole. His reveal would be when we think he's dead with Sukuna and all the fan theory of him coming back, and that's him coming back. They still go through the same thing. Oh, we gotta fight Sukuna. We gotta beat Sukuna. They heal him with reverse curse technique, and they go through the whole thing where Yuta switches bodies with him, and then that's when he comes back. Yuta's dead. He done stole his curse technique, like inversely, whilst maintaining his own. And he was like,
still having 6 eyes and stole you, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then whilst everyone's still focused on Sukuna and stopping the merger, he's like, I'ma just do it. He merges with the entity and just uses that amalgamation of curse energy, and he's like, cool. Sukuna, thank you so much for being the best distraction, and just proceeds to like obliterate society.
Why have you thought of this so detailed?
Purple and red and be like black.
Yeah. Why have I thought of this so detailed?
Yes,
because I love characters who are good, but I love characters who have an opposite side, and Gojo has that. When he came back.
You know what this means, right? You know what this means, right? You have like a small mental issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What?
It's an evil.
You ain't ever thought about that?
No.
Imagine Kakashi. You ever thought about Kakashi being evil? Hey, bro.
No. Goddamn.
I've had these thoughts before, bro. I'm right there with you, bro.
Y'all don't insult the integrity of Kakashi.
Hey, I never
don't like
said
society
you couldn't
too much,
still be cool Kakashi. He's still cool Kakashi. He just cool and don't give 0 F's about people's lives.
Yeah.
Kakashi is Sasuke who never left the Leaf Village.
Yeah.
Now, him becoming evil is basically Itachi 1.5.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Instead of conversations, is lightning blades off rip.
So all I'm hearing is
also into another dimension.
All I'm hearing is y'all's favorite hero was Killmonger. That's what I'm hearing.
No, I like Kakashi as a good guy. I just think it's cool to imagine him as a villain sometimes.
Listen,
I feel
my favorite hero is Spider-Man. My favorite version of Spider-Man is when Aunt May dies and he says, I'm putting the black suit back.
Bruh, did you see him go at the Kingpin? We off topic. Anyway.
Yeah.
Listen,
Evil Spider-Man is
I'm white, and even I agreed with Killmonger, okay? That should tell you everything you need to know. Killmonger was the 100% best villain of the MCU with 1,000% certainty. Because you had to be like, damn.
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't say Killmonger. I say Ultron. Ultron to me was.
Ultron had some valid points too.
Ultron was a fantastic villain.
Ultron had some valid points too.
Fantastic villain.
Ultron can still come back.
Yeah, good.
He probably will. Hey,
I would easily see Ultron in Doom World.
Exactly. Hey.
Be good. All right, sorry, my fault. Yeah.
All right. Lastly, point number 8. What if Neji never died? What consequences would follow this change?
Oh my bad. Hinata's dead.
I don't know.
I think she does die.
I think there's a world where they could both live.
Possibly, but I'm kind of referring to direct
I'm trading Neji for Kiba and Ino.
I was just about to say Kiba and Ino dies or Shikamaru dies. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nah, Shikamaru can't die. Shikamaru
cannot die.
If Shikamaru dies, the whole thing falls apart.
If Shikamaru dies, we are going to get a Naruto that stops.
She's not that close to Naruto.
I think
Ino's not really that close to Naruto.
What if we trade Neji for?
You said trade Neji for who?
Sakura.
You still losing Naruto who doesn't talk. I'm gonna tell you that now.
I mean, yes.
okay, not
But
okay.
Potentially a redemptive.
No, Sakura's too much. If Sakura died,
Can we get rid of Choji?
Nah, man, we can't get rid of Choji. Choji, the only. Hey, hold on. Let me get my point first. Let me get my point first. He can't get rid of Choji because Choji was the only one who married a black woman out the whole village. I refuse to get rid of Choji. Everybody else can burn. We can burn Naruto himself, but we cannot get rid of Choji. Just for that.
Nah, okay. I respect it, but you low-key kind of cooking. Because I was about to say Sakura would be too much because I feel like Naruto would crash out. Like, actually crash out. Like, it'd be bad.
Yes.
But Neji was... No, too much. Neji was close enough. To Naruto. Facts. Neji was close enough to Naruto to cause him to feel it, but still be able to push on. And I feel like you have to replicate that. And I think Choji could. I think Choji could.
Or Rock Lee.
No, Rock Lee would necessarily. Choji is Shikamaru.
He's got a better connection.
You can no. Choji's the childhood homie. Him, Choji, Naruto, Choji, and
Shikamaru is the burnout.
Yeah, they was and Kiba. They was the class clowns. It was the class clowns, skipping class, giving Iruka all types of help. That's why I say Choji could make. Choji, you kind of cook. You kind of cook with Choji. That one, Choji could be a proper replacement for Neji.
Yeah, but Loving Man already said he ain't about to let the only leaf ninja that went out with the black.
That's why I said I trade Neji for like Tenten and Kiba.
Okay, I can deal with that.
You know, see Akamaru tweet out. He's gonna turn into a 3-headed dog by himself.
Yeah, it's gonna be awful.
That's fine. Because, to be honest, if I have to see one of those other stupid commercials of his from him being a wartime veteran, the next time I try to watch Boruto, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and never watch Boruto again.
Oh, I'm weak.
I'm gonna be Hokage because Naruto wants to be Hokage. Except afterward, they're just gonna make more fun advertisements.
Essentially, that is.
I mean, he became like
still weak.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to be the Hokage and you settled for being what the Uchiha
used
to
be the Hokage.
He even knew he wasn't gonna be Hokage.
He really wasn't gonna be Hokage.
Everybody knew.
But also, I think they could have done more with his clan's Kekkei Genkai and their special techniques.
Mm-hmm.
What's his clan? Oh, the man beast transformation.
Yeah, I think that could have went deeper. Like, bro could have became half man, half wolf. Could have been a werewolf type thing. Could have been like.
That goes back to why I said it makes sense why Kishimoto let the rest of the Rookie Nine kind of take a back seat, because when you really get into the Kekkei Genkais and what they could really do, it's all stupid broken. Like, it's busted as fuck. Like, why? Bro, the shadow possession is stupid. Like, I used to think about why we never saw Shikaku use the shadow possession, and I really think it's because he was just dropping dudes. He was dropping them left and right. Like, he was not playing. Like, his shadow paralysis was out here like, hey, you don't see mine coming type level. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's really crazy.
We got a glimpse of it.
Because if he throws up a flashbang,
we got a glimpse of it with the with Orochimaru attacking the leaf. And
that was just basic shadow possession.
No, because remember he said.
Oh yeah, he did do shadow paralysis. He said
he hit the shadow paralysis, then he hit the possession. He said, "Y'all don't know about paralysis possession? Dang, that's crazy. So you don't know about strangulation?" And he started choking him.
Yeah.
And then they cut the scene, and that's when he said, "No, this is an assassination technique, and they're not telling us about."
And then take Ino's dad. Ino's dad had a whole other way
mind
of
destruction,
using
bro?
mind destruction, bro. Like, bruh.
Bro, you a vegetable. That's it.
Bruh,
You're done.
Choji pushed the limits of partial expansion. And then take Tenten. Tenten's weapons ability, like her ability to use any weapon is underrated as hell. Hella underrated. Like, bro, I could go on and on, but like I said, that just goes back to...
But when compared with Neji, I'm good. But when compared with Neji and Rock Lee, I mean, I feel like
even more so with them two. You talk about the most acclimated Byakugan user in, like, at that point, the history of the clan, like the most well adjusted, the strongest. Rock Lee having 8 gates as a getting. Stop.
Okay, hear me out.
Neji, who has a Byakugan comparable to somebody in the O2C clan, he starts seeing the future and shit. Like,
let me ask this real quick. So, before moving on to anime question of the week, let me ask this. If you had to rank at the beginning of the 4th grade Ninja War, how would you rank each? Who would be the best of each of the original teams of 3?
The best member of each team? Or the best team?
The best person on each team.
Oh, the best person on each team.
The most well-rounded or the most fit ninja to handle something 1D.
For Team 7, it's Naruto, and it's by a long shot.
At the start of the war?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say Sasuke. Because Naruto hadn't gotten Kurama's cloak yet at the start of the war. That was after the war kicked off. At the start of the war, Sasuke already had Itachi's eyes.
I thought he already had that because B had already helped him unlock the cloak.
No, he's Klepto's right. That happens in the beginning of the war when he's doing the special mission on the Eternal Island. So you're right. Sasuke would be ahead at the beginning of the war.
Slightly. Naruto got Sage Mode. We not skipping over Sage Mode. Okay, Sage Mode is a multitude of problems for anybody. But Sasuke just barely edges him because he has EMS at the start of the war.
Now, the only thing I would say is, even I don't know about a Sasuke with EMS versus whatever Naruto was on Sage Mode versus. You see what I'm saying? A massive multi-shadow clone jutsu talking about double the big gun. Nah.
Okay, what about Inashika Cho?
Shikamaru.
Okay, what about Tenten, Neji, and Rock Lee?
Definitely
Neji.
Hold on. I want to make sure I'm understanding this right. You're putting Neji above a Rock Lee who can perform the gates?
8 trigrams air palm.
Yeah. Neji is
8 trigrams air palm. That's putting you talk about donut. With enough air force, he putting a hole in your body.
Can he do that before Rock Lee gets to him though?
Yeah. It's a long distance jutsu from and it's invisible.
But by the time you've launched the attack, I've already moved.
Neji's
not in their business.
Hold on. Let's not forget. Let us not forget. Before Rock Lee even after he became acquainted with the gates, he couldn't beat Neji. Straight up. So let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. Even before he got adjusted to the 8 gates, he couldn't beat Neji regularly. And it's hand in hand. And Neji was winning first? Nah.
Yeah.
That says a lot about Neji. To be honest.
Alright, what about who else am I forgetting?
And Hinata's team, I'd say it started the war, I want to say Shino. I want to say Shino. And then
with Hinata close second.
So we got Shino, Sasuke, Neji. Shino, Sasuke, and Neji.
Level of Byaku.
And Shikamaru.
And Shikamaru.
Yeah.
Heard. Who do you think? All right, I know I said last thing, but this is really the last thing. Of all the original team senseis, who do you think was the best sensei to their team?
Kakashi.
Asuma.
I'd say
I think Asuma.
Asuma.
I think Asuma.
As a team,
you right.
Inoshi Show is the best team, and they were coached to be the best team by Asuma.
Yeah. I would say then Team 7 comes in a close second because Demon Windshirt can
It's too much natural talent walking around. I ain't gonna hook.
Yeah.
It's too much. You got Sharingan, and then you got nine-tailed brat who hates boy with the Sharingan. It's just too much natural talent walking around there, bro.
Uzumaki Chakra Reserves.
Right, and then you got 100 healing. Then you got 100 healings jutsu as the foundation. Like,
yeah, that shit don't make no sense.
Not at all.
Okay. Now, anime question of the week. What anime hill are you willing to die on? What is something in anime that is a opinion or a point of fact that is contested that you're like, nah, that's not true, or yes, it is.
Itachi wouldn't have beat the fourth Hokage.
Who?
So who do
Itachi would not have beat Minato.
Kakashi?
Itachi would not have beat Itachi Uchiha would not have beat Minato.
Bold statement. Bold statement.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement to make.
A bold statement. I'm not saying it's not fair, but I said bold. That's valid. A hill I'm willing to die on in anime. There's a lot. My favorite, Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan had GOAT potential. Greatest of all time anime potential. And pissed on it.
Yep.
Tragic.
Pissed it away.
100% agree.
Pissed it away. I don't care how you Attack on Titan fans feel. I don't care what you gotta say. Pissed it away.
That's getting put right there.
Had the opportunity to be hands down, undebatable, the greatest anime of all time, and pissed it away.
It's Tokyo Ghoul all over again.
Bruh.
Yeah. Love you, mate.
No.
Love you, mate.
Don't really have many of these because, like I say, I just watch to enjoy and learn, so we can have these discussions. But if I got to pick up one right now, Sakamoto Days manga is 10 times better than the anime.
Yeah, I agree.
And I was waiting on the
I
anime,
agree.
but yeah.
Yep.
Let me also say, as of right now, we don't know what may come. So like, as of right now,
they might catch that season 2 to season 4 My Hero Academia treatment. Everything get real vibrant.
Season 2 to season 3. Season 4,
it fell off.
yeah, but the manga for Sakamoto Days, man, the violence picks up, so it may get better.
When the Vigilante arc pops off in the 6th season, it's pretty damn good. I mean, getting to see Deku use all of the different abilities is fine, in my opinion.
Sakamoto Days, and they start making stuff turn into cubes. You know, it's about to be some peak animation.
For me, an anime hill that I'm willing to die on. Oh, sorry, Flawless, did you get yours?
yeah, he said his first.
Okay. So let me go forward with mine. So it is my humble opinion, truthfully, that the older animes, if they were all remastered, or no, excuse me, that's one that I did have, but I have a more important one. It just occurred to me. For the people who say that Goku's a bad dad, you're wrong, and it's a lazy take. you're an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about. Look at me right here in my eyeballs. You're wrong.
Good night,
Goku was a
everybody.
great father.
He's a
Goku was a great dad. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He protected not only his son, but he protected the entire Earth. You might as well call him the DBZ, I mean, not quite JC, but, he could be, he's a prophet of comedy, you know what I'm saying?
And he taught his son bad habits. That's why the motherfucker came back.
So, just want to say, not a bad dad. You're totally wrong. He tried to do what he thought was right.
It's a bad take. I ain't gonna hold you.
Nah.
Good night,
It's an
everybody.
anime handle on the time.
I feel you. You gonna die on that motherfucker too.
The other one that I did also have is that older animes, given the chance to get remastered, I absolutely believe will stand the test of time against newer animes. Because I believe some of the old school plot lines that you had back then, Evangelion, Gundam, Death Note.
Hey, I'm talking about Evangelion. That was such a headcanon-y, ridiculous anime, and the amount of prepubescent sexual innuendo, very uncomfortable.
Yes, but besides that, and the plot were good.
Besides that, the plot and the storytelling and the fights were amazing. And then the endings, just deeply convoluted boxes of like esoteric shit.
In all honesty, go ahead.
And it made my nose bleed a little bit. That was it. Probably gave me a two.
In all honesty, Robotech will blow a lot of these out the water.
That's a fair statement to make. To me, I think there's an argument to be made for like not this rebooted version we got now, but if you perfectly remastered Inuyasha, you can't tell me that wouldn't sell. Rurouni Kenshin, come on. Cowboy Bebop?
They reanimated Rurouni Kenshin.
They did.
It's running right now, to be honest.
Yes.
Yep.
But it's not bad.
Yeah, but who's to say they're not going to change something? What I'm talking about is a one-to.
You're talking about one reanimation?
A one-to-one reanimation. Just perfectly remaster the original story, just the way it used to be. Just make it with today's anime. The only thing that needs to be changed is make it with all the cool graphical shit that you can do now. Just like put some gearified Luffy animation into some shit like Yu Yu Hakusho and tell me it won't pop off.
Oh man, could y'all imagine Ronin Warriors?
Oh my lord.
Ronin Warriors with like some Demon Slayer type animation.
Yes. Sign me up.
Ronin Warrior. I ain't supposed to know what that is.
Now, anime recommendation of the week. Ranking of Kings. It's an action adventure anime, and I'm gonna let my fellow host take it away.
Ranking of Kings, man, it's a good one. I just started it probably, I want to say like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. I can't remember the main character's name for the life of me, but the story is fantastic. The story is about a young prince who is the son of the greatest king known to this world. I mean, from strength, as a leader, just everything you want your king to be, the king was, and his son just couldn't be more proud to be his son. However, and unfortunately, the prince didn't gain his father's physique. He didn't gain his father's physical strength. He didn't gain, not visibly, let me say not visibly, and I believe it was because of a curse. It was because of a curse. What he would have gained in physique and size and power, strength, and those abilities was taken from him because his father had those things, or there was a deal made before he was born.
And his name is Young Boji.
Young Boji. Boji is his name. So Boji, the show is about Boji going on an adventure to essentially find himself. He wants to be strong. He wants to be able to stand on his own. He wants to prove that he can be the rightful heir to his father's throne. And that is the Ranking of Kings journey. And it's great. It's got action, it's got story, it's got emotional ties, it's got cast. Like, it's a good one.
It's got plots. It's so
Where
good.
can we watch it?
I really watched it.
It's on Crunchyroll for sure. That's why I watch it. I watch it on Crunchyroll. I'm not aware of it being on any other streaming platforms, but I
And
do.
if I'm not mistaken, there should be a second season of it.
Yes, there is a second season of Ranking of Kings out. I'm still on season 1. So to anybody who's already seen season 1 of Ranking of Kings, if you like it, comment down below, let us know. Also, there is a season 2. If you haven't checked that out, check that out.
About to start rewatching it tonight.
With that being said, this is another episode of Young Bros Anime Pod. Thank you for being with us. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about our question. What anime hill are you willing to die on? Let us know. And thank you for being with us.
Peace out, y'all.
I gotta make that into a button for real.